My name is Islaw Warren. I'm 29 years old, and if you think betrayal always arrives loudly, wait until you hear what happened the Christmas my family laughed me out of the room. That night, my hands trembled so hard I thought the silverware might shake with them. My sister Charlotte sat glowing in the center of the table, smiling like she owned the world. My mother lifted her glass, looked straight at me, and said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "The garage is ready for you." The room erupted in laughter. Even the younger cousins laughed because the adults did. The garage had always been the joke, my place, my punishment. The space, they said, fit me better than the house. Charlotte was their star, her glamorous company, her polished image, her endless praise. And me? I was the comparison they used to make her shine brighter. I swallowed the humiliation and stayed quiet, because they didn't know something important. For 5 years, while they dismissed me, I had been building a business in silence, not for applause, not for revenge, for freedom. And at exactly 8:45 p.m., everything changed. Charlotte's investor, Mr. Ellison, sat proudly at the end of the table, praising her success. Then his phone buzzed. Once, twice, again. His smile faded as he stared at the screen. He stood so quickly, his chair scraped the floor. "Who is this?" he asked sharply. Charlotte blinked. "What do you mean?" He turned the phone toward her. "The real owner of the company just contacted me." Silence crashed over the room. My heartbeat slowed. Because I had scheduled one email, one message, one truth. Mr. Ellison opened the attached documents, contracts, registrations, ownership records, all verified, all real, and none of them carried Charlotte's name. They carried mine. Charlotte's face lost all color. My mother leaned forward. There has to be a misunderstanding. But there wasn't. For years, I had created the systems, secured the rights, and built the structure behind the scenes while Charlotte became the public face. She had the spotlight. I had the foundation, and foundations matter more than applause. Mr. Ellison's voice turned cold. I invested because I believed in leadership. Why was I never told the truth? Charlotte reached for him, but he stepped back. The room that once laughed at me had gone completely still. I picked up my glass and said calmly, "Still think the garage is ready for me?" Yes, the energy in the room shifted instantly. The same relatives who mocked me now avoided eye contact. My father tried to regain control. "We'll discuss this privately." But some truths refused to stay private. Phones around the table lit up with messages. Board members had received the same documents. Partners were asking questions. The story was moving faster than excuses ever could. Charlotte's carefully built image was cracking in real time. She looked at me with panic. "Please," she whispered, "we can fix this." I met her eyes. "You had 5 years." And then the doorbell rang. 2 legal representatives stood outside with formal documents regarding ownership disputes and corporate review. No shouting, no chaos. Just consequences delivered politely. Charlotte sank into her chair. My mother looked stunned. My father said nothing at all. The fireplace crackled in the background as if the house itself had fallen silent. And for the first time in my life, no one at that table had a joke to make about me. The Christmas morning arrived quietly. The dining room still looked like the aftermath of a storm. At 7 a.m., my phone buzzed. Transfer complete. The final ownership transition had been processed. Everything that belonged to me had officially returned to me. I walked into the living room where my parents sat in stunned silence. My father looked up. "What did you do?" I answered calmly. "I stopped letting other people tell my story." I opened my phone and showed them the public announcement. New CEO revealed. Islaw Warren. My mother covered her mouth. My father lowered his eyes, and suddenly, the daughter they treated like an afterthought was the only person in the room standing tall. I picked up my coat and headed for the door. No anger, no dramatic speech, no need. Because the greatest victory wasn't watching Charlotte lose the spotlight. It was realizing I had outgrown the room that tried to shrink me. They offered me the garage. Life handed me the keys to everything else. And that Christmas, I didn't leave in shame. I left in freedom.